All right. I want to say sorry about that. Okay. Basically, what had happened was is I got here and my signal ran out because I'm an idiot. So anyway, I'm basically over here in Cincinnati, Ohio. I got a load of shingles. I gotta drop off. So I was checking in. Apologize about that. Apologize about it. So one viewer, who am I talking to? I got one viewer. What's going on? So y'all about, you know what? At first I was going to just continue to go off of what I said on the last live, but what are my thoughts on personal conveyance? Are you talking about using personal conveyance as e-log? My thoughts on personal conveyance on while using the e-log? I think if you're still watching, well, I'm definitely going to try to answer your question. All right, personal conveyance on e-log. To be honest, I do not like the way it's set up. I love the idea, but I definitely don't. I don't. Personal conveyance is good as far as it goes. Um, Personal conveyance is good. If your trailer is empty, or if you're it's like me, like I said, I got a flatbed, and if I'm using personal conveyance, sometimes I will use personal conveyance. Like it's great to get me home and stuff, but there's no regulation of so far on DOT on how basically DOT requires us to use personal conveyance other than we cannot be dispatched on a load. So so the thing I don't like about how carriers treat personal conveyance is they're basically like, you know what? We're only going to give you this a lot of time to be able to get home. So to be able to utilize your personal conveyance with like a carrier or whatnot, they'll sit here and say, well, you can only drive for like an hour, or you can only Sorry, I'm trying to set up my camera because I'm getting ready to get unloaded. But they say basically you can only drive for about an hour. But yeah, you're right. The vehicle has to be unloaded technically, all right, and you cannot be dispatched on a load technically. So for everyone that's got the e-logs right now, they get all the dispatch info, through the e-log. It's going to be harder for them to use personal conveyance, and it's going to suck, especially let's say you're on a load, but that load is going to take you through the house. You understand what I'm saying? For some home time, and you already took off, and by the time you get about an hour out of home, away from your house, you're basically now out of hours, and you're going to tell me you're going to have to shut down and not allow to move your truck or trailer, and you're an hour away from your house. That that is something I think is dead. That's something I really don't like. I wish they could kind of, get in there and swoop that around, basically where you can use personal conveyance even on a load, especially when that load is supposed to be taking you home, because that's only getting in the way of your home time, your family time between you and your kids and your significant other. So, but as far as how it is right now, being on paper log, I use a lot of personal conveyance to basically get me in between the load, like in between loads. So let's say I got a 50-mile deadhead in between where I'm getting unloaded at right now to my next load. Because I get all my dispatch info through email, or I get it text on my phone, or basically I dispatch myself too. So I don't ever show it through like any kind of Qualcomm system where basically DOT can confiscate and look at it. Loading time, usually spend about 15 to 30 minutes as loading just to make it look good. But then the rest of that, I basically put as sleeper berth. And the reason why you want to put it as sleeper berth is because let's say sometimes you'll be at a shipper, or sometimes you'll be at a receiver, right? and you could be there for over 8 hours, and you only utilize 2 hours of your clock that day. You know what I'm saying? So you'll be able to get your remainder hours back. So if you only I don't know if you can. I know you can probably still hear me. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna just bring you with me. All right. You're definitely gonna be able to get your time, your the rest of your time back, especially after you already done wasted 8 hours. You'll be able to get that 8 hours back. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I do because of that stupid sleeper. Personal conveyance, I use that sometimes in between loads so I don't burn my clock, especially if I haven't started my clock. But the best thing is like if you have to use an e-log, okay, and you ain't on the paper, and that's the thing that I think is going to screw a lot of people up when we in December when we all have to go to e-log is basically when you go to e-log, it's going to be harder to cheat, but on paper, you know what I'm saying? You kind of get a little bit more flexibility on how you run. I still don't encourage running illegal, but you know what I'm saying? If you got a load or whatever, you can get a little bit more flexibility where you can drive past your hours, like to make it home or stuff like that. That's why I like paper log a lot more. But the e-log, using that personal conveyance time, especially in between loads, like if you got a 50-mile deadhead and stuff in between shipper and receiver and you haven't started your clock, you know, you can use that personal conveyance as long as you don't have your dispatch information inside of your e-logging device, whether it's Qualcomm, PeopleNet, whatever. But however, when we do switch over to e-log, just make sure you manage your time well. You know, try to stay out of truck stops as much as possible. I mean, I understand you're going to need a shower. You're going to have to get fuel, do laundry, especially for the over the road truck drivers. But the main goal is just pick up as quick as you can, work as efficiently as you can, and you know, don't be out here like y'all. Right now, I'm just out here talking to y'all, but y'all see me working, right? Y'all see me working. I'm already almost unstrapped my whole trailer in less than 7 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So don't be out here bull driving. You know, definitely manage your time well, because if not, and you already done started your clock, you're setting yourself up for failure, especially for the end of the week. And me being an owner operator, you know, even for company drivers, doesn't matter how you're getting paid. The number one thing is consistency, and you got to be consistent. What's going on, man? You got any more questions there, sir? I'm actually not going with a very well-known ELD device. Like, I'm not going with Qualcomm. I'm definitely not going with PeopleNet. And I'll definitely actually tell y'all who I'm going with. Are you an owner operators too? Are you own your truck? Oh no, I'm telling y'all who I'm going with. I'm just not going with like PeopleNet and that other stuff. Why pay? Look, listen to what I'm about to say. Why pay like Qualcomm? At some carriers, they're going to charge you about $20 a week. Okay, they're going to charge you about $20, $30. Oh, you're a safety director. All right. Well, so that means you get to choose the type of e-logging system for you and your drivers, right? So you actually work for somebody that, but you basically get to help set up. Yes, Keep Trucking is what I use. It's definitely an app I use right now. So Keep Trucking is what I love. I love it as my paper log because it helps me out, and I'm also uh, definitely doing it as a e-logging device too. They are compliant with DOT, I don't know if they made that list. I haven't checked on it, but that so far as for when I know they are compliant with DOT. I'm not really I'm not really worried about failing in that department. It's easy to set up. It doesn't take all day. You just plug it in. You can use it on your iPad or tablet, or you can also use it on your cell phone and stuff. And Keep Trucking is $20 a month, 360 bucks a year instead of 20 bucks a week, $80 a month, and 80 times 12 a year. That's just way too much money for me to stay compliant. I'm sorry. I mean, I stay compliant for the most part. Let me say it again. I know you said you're a safety director, but I stay compliant for the most part. You understand what I'm saying? As it is now, I don't think I need to pay thousands of dollars a year in order to keep Qualcomm or to keep PeopleNet or even Random McNally. And I love their GPSs and their dash cams, but they're just too expensive, and it's not something that I'm trying to pay. And the best part, like I said, 20 bucks a year. They got a live support team to help you out, and actually the carrier I'm leased to is going to Keep Trucking, so it's even better because the owner of our company gets to save a lot of money in that regard. So, and if I was you, I'd order them now because I know Keep Trucking was talking about raising the prices next week. But right now, as it is right now, it's only 20 bucks a month per unit. So per truck, per every unit you got to put that stuff in, it's 20 bucks. But I love Keep Trucking. Keep Trucking is amazing. And believe it or not, if you're an owner operator, or even if you run paper logs, and if you're not using Keep Trucking and you're running paper logs, or you're an owner operator with your own authority and you're not using Keep Trucking, you're not only, in my opinion, wasting your time, but you're also wasting your money. You know what I'm saying? Keep Trucking is definitely amazing for me. I love it. So you said you're a safety director. So that means safety stores as well as your carriers. You know what I'm saying? How do you feel when you get a driver, okay? And the dumb question is that it's just drives reckless or whatever, and that's not the question. The question is how do you feel like when you get a driver who's not professional? You know what I'm saying? That's representing your carrier and himself really badly. How do you feel when you have drivers that are like that? How does that make you feel? I know I got two viewers, and I kind of like these discussions. This is the most talkative I think my comments has been since I've ever done a live stream on this. Oh, I'm sorry. It's probably because one, my Bluetooth sucks. I mean, I like it. I love my Bluetooth, but the question is how do you feel? Is that better though? All right, hold on. I'm coming back.